Hello, I am Mehin Hacıyeva and you are watching English news program on Azərbaycan Televiziya. On October 16, President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, İlham Əliyev, received Executive Director of the United Nations Human Settlements Program, Anna Claudia Rosbach.
During the conversation, the importance of the UN-hafted Executive Director's participation in the third Azerbaijan National Urban Forum held in the city of Xankəndi was underscored. And Claudia Rosbach praised the excellent organization of the forum, emphasizing that the event featured discussions on the most pressing issues of urban development. The sides held the fact that several national urban forums have been held in Azerbaijan so far within the framework of the Azerbaijan UN-hafted partnership. The meeting highlighted the large-scale restoration and reconstruction works carried out in the Karabakh and East Zangezur economic regions of Azerbaijan, as well as the modern model of urban development which has been applied in construction of the cities and villages in the liberated territories. And Claudia Rosbach expressed her gratitude to Azerbaijan for its voluntary financial contributions to UN-hafted and support for the organization's activities. She emphasized Azerbaijan's successful hosting of COP29, noting with satisfaction that the climate agenda and urbanization activities were addressed together at this event and that Azerbaijan had undertaken initiatives in this regard. The meeting involved an exchange of views on preparations for the 13th session of the World Urban Forum, one of the United Nations' most prestigious events which Azerbaijan is set to host in 2026. The parties expressed confidence that this event, like other prominent international gatherings, would be excellently held. During the conversation, the sides also discussed prospects for cooperation between Azerbaijan and the UN-hafted program.
On the same day, President İlham Əliyev accepted the credentials of Marianne de Jong, the newly appointed ambassador of the Kingdom of the Netherlands to Azerbaijan.
The ambassador presented her credentials to the head of state. President İlham Əliyev noted that there are good prospects for cooperation between the two countries. Recalling his meeting with Prime Minister of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Dick Schoof, in Copenhagen, President İlham Əliyev underlined that various aspects of the partnership were discussed and an agreement were reached to enhance cooperation in many areas during the meeting. Noting that Dutch companies are currently operating in Azerbaijan across various spheres, President İlham Əliyev expressed his hope that their number will grow in the future. Expressing gratitude for the reception, Marianne de Jong conveyed greetings of King Willem Alexander of the Netherlands to the head of state. President İlham Əliyev thanked for the greetings and asked the ambassador to convey his regards to the King and Prime Minister of the Netherlands. Marianne de Jong said the Netherlands intends to establish close cooperation with Azerbaijan in the political and economic spheres, stressing her confidence that this would be mutually beneficial.
The head of state received the credentials of Hassan Malden Rida, the new ambassador of the Arab Republic of Egypt.
The ambassador presented his credentials to the head of state. President İlham Əliyev congratulated the Arab Republic of Egypt on excellent organization of the Middle East Peace Summit in Sharm el-Sheikh. The head of state highly appreciated the invitation extended to Azerbaijan to participate in this event by U.S. President Donald Trump and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, describing it as a sign of a mutual trust and friendship between Azerbaijan and Egypt. Following recalling President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's visit to Azerbaijan and his own official visit to Egypt, President İlham Əliyev noted the implementation of the issues discussed during those visits. Ambassador Hussam Eldin Reda conveyed the greetings of Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to the head of state. President İlham Əliyev expressed gratitude for the greetings and asked the ambassador to convey his regards to President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. The sides underlined the importance of the Intergovernmental Commission, noting that its next session would be held soon. They emphasized that direct flights between Baku and the cities of Sharm el-Sheikh and Cairo have given a strong impetus to cooperation in the tourism sector. Azərbaycan. During the conversation, the parties also discussed prospects for cooperation in the cultural and humanitarian spheres.
President İlham Aliyev accepted the credentials of Marianne Kuyundzic, the newly appointed head of the European Union delegation to Azerbaijan.
Marianne Kuyundzic presented her credentials to President İlham Aliyev. Fondly recalling his meetings with President of the European Council Antonio Costa and President of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen in Tirana and Copenhagen, the head of state noted that detailed discussions on the prospects of bilateral cooperation had been held during those meetings. President İlham Aliyev, emphasizing the recent dynamics in relations between Azerbaijan and the European Union, highlighted the visits of 3 EU commissioners to Azerbaijan within 1 year. Marianne Kuyundzic congratulated Azerbaijan on the progress made in advancing the peace agenda between Azerbaijan and Armenia in the presence of U.S. President Donald Trump in Washington. She commended Azerbaijan's active regional diplomacy, noting that President İlham Aliyev's recent visits and participation in international summits are clear examples of this. She also underlined that there are favorable opportunities for the further development of relations between Azerbaijan and the European Union, touching upon successful cooperation in the energy and transport sector, and noted that the European Union closely supports projects aimed at creating regional transport connections. Marianne Kuyundzic announced that the European Union will continue to support Azerbaijan in demining operations. The meeting also featured an exchange of views on the prospects for future Azerbaijan-EU cooperation.
Later, President İlham Aliyev accepted the credentials of Sophie Lagut, the newly appointed ambassador of France.
The ambassador presented her credentials to the head of state. Recalling his meeting with French President Emmanuel Macron in Copenhagen, President İlham Aliyev stated that as a result of that meeting, past misunderstandings between the two countries have been resolved. Emphasizing that a new era has begun in bilateral relations, the head of state highlighted the importance of restoring and developing contacts between people and business representatives, as well as enhancing cooperation in cultural and humanitarian fields. Ambassador Lagut, in her turn, noted that a new page has opened in relations between Azerbaijan and France and pledged to spare no effort in further developing bilateral ties. The meeting addressed the successful development of Azerbaijan-France relations across various sectors, including high technologies and aerospace. The parties highlighted the importance of resuming the activities of the Intergovernmental Commission, strengthening sister city relations, organizing reciprocal visits by business delegations, and encouraging the participation of French companies in various projects. The successful partnership between Azerbaijan and France in the energy sector was also emphasized, particularly the importance of cooperation with Total. During the conversation, both sides exchanged views on the prospects of bilateral ties in multiple fields and stressed the necessity of continuing cooperation.
That was all for today. Thank you for being with us. Goodbye.